Hello and welcome to another Win Daily Sports Show. My name is Michael Raziel. I got the man Stoweby here with me, and we are talking a Thursday night showdown, throwdown. We have the Colts, we have the Titans, we have a gargantuan AFC South matchup. What else could we have asked for, Stoweby, than the AFC South on Thursday Night Football? They're finally starting to give us the correct games. They gave us Giants Eagles a couple weeks ago. They give us this. Now we really know we're into the swing of things with Thursday Night Football. A little bit of housekeeping, of course. Make sure to follow us at Win Daily Sports, windailysports.com/chat. You get 7 free days in our expert Discord chat where you can ask Stoweby, you can ask Adam, you can ask Sticks, you can ask Jason, you can ask Sia all the questions you want, not just on NFL, but on everything. And we've been talking a lot of Masters. The golf chat has been insane the last couple of days, so that's been a lot of fun. So we're helping you win at everything. Sports betting, which we have a lot of it going on because we have football every single night. But then also, of course, our DFS. Stoweby, how you doing tonight, man?
Great, man. I was ready to tell you we had some surprise visitors in the house today, and we're loving it. We weren't expecting it, so we got a full house of youngins and getting ready to chill out and watch some football and write some articles, and it's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. Just trying to get the link to throw it in the chat. It's not working. Oh, there we go. I got it. So I'm going to put that up in the chat for everybody so they can go hang out with that. As I said, windailysports.com/chat. Stoweby, I'm also getting a little bit of feedback of myself coming from your end, if you don't mind kicking that off. Appreciate the hell out of you. You're much better at this technology stuff than I am. So we are here. We're talking a lot of the Titans and a lot of the Colts. It's going to be interesting to say the least. We have the Colts as a -1 favorite. Titans opened up as a 2.5 favorite. Now we have the Colts coming in and giving us the kind of the workaround a little bit. Coming all the way back around. You don't see it happen too often. So when you see that big of a swing, it's always something to pay attention to. We have an over-under of about 48.5, depending on where the book is at. So should be a fun game. It's still the AFC South, so let's all take that into account. But it's a weird AFC South, right? Ryan Tannehill's second year in the division. We have the, obviously Phillip Rivers, the old dog, first few games, yes, shot putting dog in the division, so we'll see how that goes there, but it should be a fun one. So one thing we always like to pay attention to, and we're already starting to get people in the chat, come ask us all the questions. Stoweby and I love hanging out with the chat here. We promise you that we will answer every single one. But First thing I always love to ask you, Stoweby, is game script, right? We have to have an understanding of what we think is going to happen, and then that way we can build the most optimal lineups when it does come to FanDuel and DraftKings. We pay attention a little bit more to DraftKings. So talk to me a little bit. What do you think the game script is going to look like tonight with the Colts, with the Titans?
Actually, can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yep, you're perfect.
Everything good? Okay. All right. So I know they're both kind of slower on the pace side, but I still think we're actually going to see a lot more passing going on today. There's Indy seems to have an issue with their run game, and the Titans typically have a little struggles when it comes to your good rushing defenses. So I think they're both going to take that opportunity, and they both have kind of ish secondary. So, everybody can kind of take advantage today through the air. I think we'll actually have a pretty fun one tonight.
Hell yeah. I'm all for it. Famous last words, though.
It's usually backwards for us when we.
Yes,
when we
I was going to say we're usually pretty completely opposite when it comes to the amount of fun we have with these games. But as we always say, Stoweby, any night with football is a good night. And just in case, there's a college football game on, I think FS1 as well. So if you need to get that double screen working, you'll have some fun. College, there's always points to be scored. I think Boise State's playing tonight, which should be fun. But we're here talking NFL, so I think it's going to be an interesting one. I know you have a pretty hot take on Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fully explain it. Yeah,
we'll get there. So let me pop this up. As we always say, we pay a little more attention to DraftKings. On FanDuel, if you can't build a lineup, that's kind of on you. Essentially, they make it easy. You can do whatever you want at that point. DraftKings a little bit more difficult. We have the captain spot, which is always nice. 1.5 times the points, 1.5 times the investment. So you got to get a little different with it. So talk to me a little bit. We're already getting some questions. Who is your chalk captain tonight? So give me your, I guess, top 3 captains who you think are going to be there for the night.
My top 3 captains are actually going to be coming from the Titans passing game. It's Ryan Tannehill, and I actually like Corey Davis a little bit more than AJ Brown, just because I like the matchup with Rocky Sin just a touch better, but it's close. But I'm staying on the Titans when it comes to the captains today.
I like that. No love for the Colts. I mean, it's hard to pick Philip Rivers in the captain spot, but no love for anyone else on the Colts side.
If you want to go with a low owned option and get contrarian and attack the passing game from the other side, I think you can use someone like a Trey Burton, or even we might have ourselves a T.Y. Hilton
resurgence,
just an upside game. The Titans
resurrection.
Yeah, the Titans don't do a whole lot in terms of blitzing. They don't really get to the quarterback all that well. And one of the reasons Rivers makes a lot of those mistakes, aside from the noodle arm, is he gets rushed and he tries to make throws and he shot puts it into double and triple coverage. So if they're not getting the pressure on him, they might actually have some time to hit T.Y. downfield.
Wow. That would be nice, right?
It would be nice.
Shout out to Philip Rivers. $25 million he's getting paid this year. Stoweby, I think you could do just as good a job. Probably not as funny. You have to admit, all of Philip Rivers' outtakes are pretty hilarious. So you like a lot of the Titans side here. So we're gonna go heavy Titans. Let's just go with the ultimate chalk, right? I think let's just go with well, no, wait.
I think Tannehill will. Oh, what's that?
Wait, I gotta stop.
Okay.
You didn't say Derrick Henry in one of your as you said. You love those three the pass catchers as well as the passers on the. Damn it, Sia. Stop it, Sia. You're distracting me. I usually do shows with you. Too much. What? Talk to me about Derrick Henry. Why do you think Derrick Henry sucks, Stoweby?
Hey.
I'm kidding.
Look.
What? Give me your take.
People at me on Twitter on that one. Okay. All right. The thing with it, and I started noticing it earlier in the year, the Titans have slightly changed up how they do their run blocking. They used to run out of the I formation a lot more with the lead blocker, whether it be a fullback or they'd bring a tight end in at fullback and they would give Henry a lead blocker, or they would run strong side with extra help. Now, Henry is a beast, and once he gets moving, he's incredibly difficult to catch. But the one thing that he sometimes has an issue with is making that first guy miss. And now that they're not giving him that lead blocking support as much, you're noticing him getting stuffed in the hole, especially against your tougher run defenses. He can still kind of will his way through the line when it comes to your weaker guys like Houston and things like that, where he's had the blow up games this year. But if you look at his YPA against decent rushing defenses, I mean, we're talking under 3.5 yards a carry. And that is not what you would expect to see from a guy with a rushing title. And it's not him. It's just they're running a lot more motion. They're running a lot more play action on first down, and they are not giving him as much lead blocking. So against the tougher run Ds, I've been pretty successful when it comes to fading them.
Mm-hmm. I like that. See, you don't think he sucks then? Why?
He's one of my top 2 or 3 running backs in the league. I mean, by far. It's just Tennessee seems like they're trying to transition into more of a passing team. When they got beat by Kansas City last year, I think they saw a need to be able to play a little more up tempo and to be able to sling it around a little more. And I think they're making a concerted effort for that.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of the way that the NFL is moving. We already have some people in the chat. Glide, he needed this stream. Oh, he missed out on a PS5. Sorry, Glide. That kind of sucks. Damn,
it's okay. Man. From what I understand, I'm a tech nerd. You lucked out. There's some stuff going on. Do some research. They are having some big time issues with the first batch of the Xbox Series X and S's, as well as the PS5s.
There you go.
And the scalpers are douchebags, and I hope they have to sit on that inventory.
Awesome. Love that.
I'll give you my tech take somewhere else one of these days.
I like that. So appreciate you, Glide. Davis from Josh Gressler. Yes, we're on Davis. He is one of our 3 captains for the night, 100%. Drea, it's crazy that they stopped running that way. Yeah, it makes no sense considering what they were able to do. They made it all the way to the AFC Championship game. While the goal is always a Super Bowl, you still got to get to the AFC Championship game first. So I think that part is pretty important. And James Johnson, so since Henry fade for passing attack, would you still have Tannehill as captain, or what receiver do you like for captain? So we do think Tannehill is going to be major chalk. We then like to pivot off of him with AJ Brown, with Corey Davis. At some point, you're going to have to get all three of them in there. It might be a little easier if we throw Corey Davis in that captain spot. So I think that part is pretty important. And also, no Taylor Lewan. Thank you, Sia. Appreciate that. And he also says Happy Veterans Day to Stoweby. Yes, thank you,
thanks, brother.
Stoweby.
Appreciate
Thank you for doing what you do. We shouted you out last night on the show. I assume you paid attention because all you do is watch everything that we do here, of course. But we appreciate you no matter what. So let's break it down a little bit. So you think Derrick Henry sucks as a running back. So we're not just gonna, no, I'm kidding. You don't, obviously, and here's the thing. We always love to say this. It's a showdown slate. You're making 10 lineups. Do not, try and throw a single bullet into the chamber in a 150 and say, let's go. That's not how this works. Make 10 lineups. Contest selection is very, very important. Stoweby is going to have more on that for us this weekend, which we're very excited about.
That'll be out either tonight or tomorrow morning.
Love it, love it, love it. So we're having an entire article on contest selection specifically for the Sunday slate. But when it comes to showdowns, this is not a time to say, let me try and build my bankroll a little bit. No. We're shooting for the top. We're gunning for the top. But you can't just make one lineup and expect that. So yes, Derrick Henry is 100% in your player pool. Do we think he's going to do incredible? Do we think he's worthy of captain spot? Stoweby does not. I'm sure other people on the Win Daily Sports team do. But that's not the point. You have to have a player pool, and then we have to mix and match. We're going to talk about a couple lineups here, mostly the ones that Stoweby really likes, really focusing on that passing attack from the Titans. But you got to get crazy with it. One last question before we jump in. Drea Cooper, appreciate the hell out of you. Drea has been killing it this year with Win Daily Sports, so we appreciate the hell out of you. The Sharps are on Indy. How does that play into our lineups? Very good question. How do you feel about that one, Stoweby? When the Sharps are coming in on a specific team, how does that affect, especially in a single game format like a showdown, how does that affect you building a lineup?
I'm not with Indy. I'm not with the Sharps on this. I think they're overvaluing Phillip Rivers, and I think they're undervaluing how good of a team Tennessee is just because they've had a few hiccups early on. So I think they're wrong. That's just my take on that.
Yeah, I actually I agree with you. I think it's really weird that they are getting as much love. Like, I don't really understand. They kind of suck this year. They haven't been that great. The Sharps are on them, and I was just double checking. I apologize, using some of my information that we get, but I don't know. I have the Titans. I took the Titans tonight. So I agree with you. I think the Titans end up winning. It's a 1-point game at this point. So it is weird to see the line movement as much as it has, but very good question, Drea. So let's say you do notice that maybe you're against or you're with the Sharps. How would do you take that information into account in any way, shape, or form?
I mean, when we're talking basically pick'em status tonight, I wouldn't weigh too much into it. Okay. A point or two, one direction or the other with the minimal crowd sizes. And that's another thing that I think they might be overvaluing too, is home field advantage. I don't think it's mattering nearly as much this year, but tonight I wouldn't worry about it. It's close on paper one way or the other, so I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. I just think Titans are an overall better team.
Yeah, divisional game too, so you assume those are going to be a little bit closer. Both of these teams are above average. I would say they're kind of in that C+, B- range, somewhere around there. So I think it's going to be a pretty well fought game. So let's hop back into the DraftKings Showdown Throwdown a little bit more. So as you can see, we have Ryan Tannehill in our captain. You said you love AJ Brown. You said you love Corey Davis. So that doesn't leave us with too much money left. Now, at some point, you're going to have to build a lineup like this because, again, we're making a bunch and you're going to switch some captains. You can save some money if you throw Corey Davis up into the captain spot. But we need to save some money somewhere and still you always have one of these guys that's like $200, $300 that just ends up doing pretty well. So talk to me a little bit. Where can we find a little bit of this value to be able to build out the rest of this lineup and we're not kind of just cringing when looking at
it? All right. So it's actually going to be a little bit trickier today. I like Rodrigo Blankenship. That's he's been my profile picture on Twitter for a while now.
I've seen that. I like it. Yes.
Oh yeah. So I mean, we all know Rivers struggles pushing the ball downfield, so it would be appropriate to think that maybe they get stalled out at the 35 or 40 and he kicks a couple of long ones.
I like that. All right.
So that'll be an easy access to 4K for your points. And then if we are looking at the Colts, if they're kicking field goals, you might be expecting them to be down a little bit as well. So someone like Trey Burton.
Where's Trey?
He's right there at like
okay,
59.
56. That's not bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
56. And you can kind of see where you're at.
Mm-hmm. You could still throw in Wilkins. One thing we highly suggest is if you have $0 left, that means a lot of people have that same lineup. Just something very important to pay attention to, because if everybody has that lineup, you're tying with somebody and it's probably not going to be that great. That means, I mean, hey, if you tie for $1 million, that's awesome. But you're tying for $1 million with a bunch of people. So it's not quite $1 million, but still, I'll take $20. I don't even care at this point. That's fine, right?
Money's money when it comes to showdowns. I'd love to win I'd love to win $100,000, but I mean, we all know how difficult that is.
I think you will, Stoweby. One of these days. I think that part is pretty important. Another question over here by Glad, and we have to answer all of Glad's questions because unfortunately he did not get his PS5 today. So thoughts on going with both passing attacks, GPP without Henry and Taylor? 100%.
Sign me up. That was actually what we talked about right at the very beginning. I like the passing attacks today. I'm good. Wilkins' snap share has been going down. Or actually, I'm sorry, did you say Wilkins or Taylor? Yeah. They're about 30% snap share, all three of the running backs for the Colts now. So I don't think you need to have any particular guy overweight in your lineups.
I like that. For our season-long fans, Sia last night on our betting line show actually is a pretty big fan of Jonathan Taylor tonight. So he says if you have him in your season long, play him. So I am. So Sia, I know you're watching.
I know Sia's a Taylor. I know he's a Taylor stan. I know that.
He really is. He
loves him some Taylor and Antonio Gibson.
He loves Antonio Gibson. Kind of hurt. So we'll see what happens. We'll have some more information on that. But we're not worried about Antonio Gibson this week. One other question, James Johnson. What is sharps? Sure, sharps are the really, really smart people that know way more about betting than we do. And they put their money somewhere and everyone's like, oh shit, that guy's putting his money there. And it actually makes the line move. So if it's minus,
it's your big Vegas guys that throw tons of money in. And when they get exposure on one side or the other, it legitimately makes the line move a point or two, depending on how heavy they bet.
That is something we appreciate the question because you're not the only one that had that question. So if anybody has a question, ask. This is our favorite part. We get to hang out with the chat. So as you can see, we have a little Trey Burton. You can get a little Rodrigo Blankenship. Trey Burton, I think at this point has more rushing touchdowns than Ezekiel Elliott, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. I think that's like a pretty legitimate statistic. Trey Burton, I think, has 3 rushing touchdowns. Zeke, I think, only has 2 at this point. So something to pay attention to. I don't know why or how he keeps getting it, but Jack Doyle is out. Yeah, well, no, just conceptually why he keeps getting them. Yeah. I've seen that he gets them. Conceptually, I just don't understand it. But it is just something that's funny to pay attention to. I think Mo Alley-Cox is active but hurt, and Jack Doyle is inactive. I think he is still in concussion protocol. Hopefully, he gets okay and gets right one of these days. So Trey Burton, I like that. I start him in a couple leagues. Feel like he gets like 2 catches for 6 yards, but he gets the touchdown. And with as bad as tight ends have been this year, shit, man, sign me up for all those touchdowns.
And that right there, you can run him out there and still avoid Phillip Rivers because he gets the rushing work and because he's it's minimal on the yardage side. It's 1 or 2, maybe he catches 1 and maybe he runs 1. So you can still bank on Rivers having a bad night with Burton having a good night.
I love it. So let's look at another lineup. Let's make it a little easier on ourselves. Josh, I built a lineup with 6K left over. That is a lot. I can almost guarantee nobody else has that lineup. So that's a good thing to look at there.
That's fine. I mean, it's a little high, but I have seen lineups in the 5K plus leftover range takedown tournament. So I'm not. It's Showdown's a strange beast.
It's a very, very weird place to be. Any interest in Pittman Jr.? Yes, that was going to be my question to Stoweby. Now we have a little bit of extra salary on the table here. Outside of Trey Burton, do you have any interest in any of these other pass catchers? Dre already brought up T.Y. She thinks it's his get right game tonight. We're also having questions about Pittman Jr. How about Rascal Pascal over there? Any of these pass catchers on the Colts side that interests you to kind of run it back in case it is a fun, high scoring, I'm kidding, a normal scoring football game with this AFC South matchup?
Well, you could use, I'm looking at Marcus Johnson. Where's he at in here?
I see him 5,200.
He was, I'm sorry about that. He's actually been seeing 60% of the snap share, even when T.Y. Hilton is playing.
Okay.
And Pittman has been
hurt.
right. Pittman. Well, Pittman
He came
missed
back?
3 weeks. He's been back for 2 weeks now.
Okay.
So he saw about 90% of the snap share with T.Y. Hilton out, and then he saw 58 the week that T.Y. got hurt. And only saw like 30-something% of the snap. So Marcus Johnson seems like a more consistent option right now.
I like that. Look at you. And this is the information you get, people. Listen to Stoweby. The man knows what he's doing. How about let's talk about T.Y. Hilton though. He's been awful this year. Terrible. But I personally don't know. You tell me. You watch a lot more film and a lot more game tape than I do. How much is it him? Just kind of now he's finally old versus how much is it Phillip Rivers?
It's Phillip Rivers. I mean, there's no,
thanks.
He's your deep threat guy. He's the guy to stretch the field, and Rivers doesn't have the arm strength to stretch it. So
it's so sad.
And the only reason why I'm looking at him tonight is just because of the lack of the pass rush, and Rivers might be able to get a couple of them in there he might actually be able to rear back and throw it and maybe get a few more yards under the ball. And that's it. I have a hard time going with T.Y. on most weeks, but I think you can against the Titans.
I like that. Good analysis. And Adoree Jackson is back, one of the Titans corners, but he's not playing. So I don't really understand why they activated him. And obviously
Emergency
they did it.
Only.
Yeah, like they obviously did it for a certain reason, but I think it's something to pay attention to because we know Sticks loves his Adoree Jackson narrative. Drea, any props to consider? Sticks should have some props later tonight. WinDailySports.com/chat. It'll probably be a free article, but you also will most likely get it in the chat. So if you hop over there, I think that's important. Drea also says River is in the captain spot for all the money.
You would be unique.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You'll be a little different. It is a showdown. So if you're making 10 lineups, hell yeah, put Rivers in the captain spot for one.
Didn't he?
Maybe even two. I don't know.
What was his numbers last week? Because I think he surprised me.
Yeah, but they didn't score, right? Wasn't it? Didn't they only score 10 points, I think?
Okay, yeah, no, it wasn't last week. That was Baltimore. Okay. He didn't do anything. It was, I think, no, I was right on him. Never mind. I must have been thinking of something else.
I was thinking of that other old quarterback, maybe. But
there's a few of them out there.
It's definitely, I mean, hey, Drea, I do it 100%. I am in with you. You're making a few different lineups. You're not just doing one. So yeah, throw Rivers in the captain spot. He's the quarterback. That's all the touchdown equity, most likely, because as we've said, this rushing attack for the Colts just has not looked very good this year. Again, I think some of it may be the fact that they don't have to pay attention to the pass attack at all, and they can really focus on it. But it's definitely something to pay attention to. Josh is back. Frickshire, or is that too much risk? I would say definitely have him in a lineup, but how much do you believe in Frickshire, Stoweby?
I actually just saw that question and I was going in to pull up the numbers on here.
I beat you to it.
He's okay. He's been seeing 50% snap share even with Jonnu in. It looks like he's been getting more now that is Humphrey still out? Or
he is out, yes.
Yeah, I think he could be a reasonable play. It looks like they're using him a bit more to kind of make up for Humphrey's not being on the field. So there may be something to that.
Yep. And if you go Marcus Johnson and then Frickshire, you're left with 9,300 in the bank. So if you wanted, you could grab a Jonnu Smith, probably suggest against it. I don't think two tight ends are going to blow up for the Titans.
Pick one. Yeah, definitely
pick one. But let's say in this lineup, you have 9,300. If you want to go Nyheim Hines, you think he's going to be catching a couple balls out of the backfield, doing his thing. If you want a little Rascal Pascal, as T.Y. Hilton is still there as well, you'll have a lot of money left over. You'll have a lot to play with. And I think that's something pretty important as well. So yeah, I think this will be a fun night. I think it'll be a fun game. Any day with football is a good day. We're all for it. Still getting some more questions. Please, people, keep getting them to us. We're here for probably another 5 or 10 minutes. So give us all the questions. We're going to be getting to Monkey Knife Fight here in the minute. But forgive me if you've already covered it, but thoughts on Hines, assuming Tennessee gets out early. Rivers seems to like throwing the ball to him. That is true. How do you feel about Nyheim Hines tonight?
He would be. If we're running the script where Tennessee gets out early, Hines would be the one that I would target.
Exactly. Yes. You have to tell yourself that story. So who else? So let's actually do that. I think that'll be fun. So we do think Hines is going to play. We think he's going to play well. Tell me that script. I mean, it seems like probably we'd still want Corey Davis, AJ Brown, and Ryan Tannehill. But if we do that, we get a little Naheem Hines, still at 5,200. So we're pretty much all in the same spot. It keeps turning out to be. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. Again, you just have to tell yourself that story. What does that story look like? Well, it looks like Ryan Tannehill is going to throw the ball a lot, especially in the beginning. He's going to throw a couple touchdowns, hopefully to AJ Brown and or Corey Davis. They're going to get a bunch of points, and then Philip Rivers is going to have to run it back with Naheem Hines. Then how do we tell me the rest of that story, Stoweby? Where do we then want to go from there? Is it still Trey Burton because you think they're going to be down there and he can catch one of those touchdown passes? Is it Rodrigo because you think they're going to keep kicking the field goal? Is it the Titans defense because you think if they're that far ahead, then they can rear back and they can go sack the quarterback? Tell me the rest of that story.
I like the idea of the Titans as something a little bit different there going in that mix. And because I think you could get away with doing something like a Burton and then a Titans defense or a Blankenship and a Titans defense because of Philip Rivers' tendency to throw picks in situations and throw pick sixes and really terrible passes. He's been doing it for years. I don't know how he got paid that money. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love the guy. He's
awesome.
Best PG trash talker ever. And I love the guy. He's a hoot. I love hearing him mic'd up and everything like that. And he was a great quarterback for quite a long time. But that arm is just dead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, shout out Philip Rivers, $25 million. I mean, I know they kind of paid Jacoby Brissett last year. It was like a weird contract, so I don't actually know how much they paid him, but the Colts were the second best team in the AFC before pretty much their entire team got hurt. Then they sucked down the stretch. They absolutely were bad, but they were 6-2, if I'm not mistaken, beat the Patrick Mahomes led Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl winning Patrick Mahomes led Kansas City Chiefs. They beat them. They beat them pretty good. And it really wasn't like super close. I remember because I lost some money on that game, but it's just one of those things where it was so weird that they felt the needs like, no, we have to have Philip Rivers. It's like, I don't know. Like, I think Jacoby Brissett, Jacoby Brissett and some other stuff I think could have done just fine. And I think one of those things was running back. Unfortunately, Marlon Mack gets hurt like the 5th play of the first game. So he's gone for a while now. So it's unfortunate, but definitely something that is very confusing to me.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
Awesome.
I mean, we're sharing a brain there. I had Marlon Mack in a lot of my best ball.
Yeah, it kind of stinks, but it is what it is. We power on. James Johnson, thoughts on Khalif Raymond? Any thoughts on Khalif Raymond? Anything?
Not really. Let me take a look. Honestly, I didn't even. Yeah, hey, data is beautiful. Khalif Raymond. Let me see. Where's his snap share at? I got to pull up. I got so many pages open right now.
All the tabs.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Khalif Raymond. If you're running MME, he may be worth the dart toss, but I wouldn't use him in single entry.
I like that.
He seems like there's a little bit too much risk. He's only got 25% snap share, even without Humphreys playing. It looks like they're going more with the 2 tight end set with Tennessee since Humphreys has been out.
Makes sense. Considering they should be running the ball. I mean, that 2 tight end sets definitely makes sense. And both of their tight ends can catch the ball too. I think that, if they use it. Both of them do catch the ball. Josh, captains, Rivers, Brown, Davis. Should I add 1 or 2 more? Yeah, I'd say at least Tannehill.
I think you have to have Tannehill and at least a couple of them.
Yeah, 100% Tannehill.
Because even if they get ahead, if the Henry situation ends up proving itself out, if they get ahead and they need to run the clock down, they're not shy about running bootlegs and running draws with Tannehill. And so that would be, I think he's still going to be accumulating yardage even if they get ahead.
Yeah, I think I have Tannehill over 10.5 rushing yards tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be
I think
easy.
you can actually get it at like 9.5 on DraftKings. I think I grabbed it on FanDuel.
Really?
Same game parlay for anybody that's legal gambling. Same game parlay. If you hit 3 of 4, they just give you your money back, which is kind of cool. So let's go. I got Derrick Henry, Titans, Ryan Tannehill over rushing yards and over like 240 passing yards, I think. So I'm crossing my fingers. It's like plus like 800. So that's cool with me. I'll put $5.
That's pretty reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'll put $5 on that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I went Hines at captain with Tannehill, Brown, Davis, Burton, and Johnson. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
that
cool.
fits.
Yeah, 100%. It seems like it's in the budget. I mean, again, make sure it's not. I mean, if it is 0, just understand that other people will have that, because a lot of people, when they do play DFS, it's like, oh, I want to use up all my budget. But the one place you don't want to use up all your budget is on a showdown. So you want to leave a couple bucks. As we said before, somebody left 6K on the table. I apologize. I don't remember who it was. It was Josh. Josh left 6K on the table. That's cool with me, man. That is cool with me, man. Mm-hmm. So good stuff. Please keep your questions coming. I am going to transfer over to a little MKF right now, because as always, we have a nice little offer for our friends. If you go to monkeyknifefight.com and you use promo code WINDAILY, you will get a $10 matching bonus. So you'll get $10 on Monkey Knife Fight. The 10 you put in, they'll give you a free 10. It's up to 52. So if you put in 50, they give you 50. We'll help you win money with all that $100. But then also we'll give you 3 months free to windailysports.com, which is a $90 offer. That's free money, people. We're trying to give you free money. Just take it. Go to Monkey Knife Fight. Win Daily Sports, promo code Win Daily. I apologize. monkeyknifefight.com, promo code Win Daily. Give them $10. Win with this bet, this play that Stoby's going to give you right now. And then you get 3 months free to windailysports.com. It doesn't get any easier than that, people. We just made you a bunch of money. So, Stoby, talk to me a little bit. This is a big one. This is a big one. We need 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit different than what I usually do, but I felt froggy.
I like that. Yeah, it felt a little froggy. It's AFC South, man. Anything can happen, right? So we have 4 out of 5 here. We hit 4 out of 5. We 4x our money. So that $10 that you put in, you get that free 10. So that's 20. You put 20 on this. It just turned into 80. You're welcome. And then $90 from Win Daily Sports, because you got 3 months free. I don't know. Quick math, $170. I'll take $170 tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I'll take it. I'm not angry about it. So, Stoby, talk to me a little bit here. We have the under on Phillip Rivers. I mean, you've pretty much been trashing him all night, so I don't think we need to talk.
All season,
yeah, that's
really.
true. Under on Phillip Rivers, 266. Over on Tannehill, 245. Over on AJ Brown, 5.5. So that one I'm actually interested in. I want to talk to you a little bit there, because we've seen, it doesn't matter how many catches this guy gets. It just kind of gets 100 yards. Dude is a monster. He is an animal. He'll take a dumb little slant and Odell Beckham it, but just does it in a way bigger way. He's just trucking down the field. The dude's incredible. 5.5, 6 receptions. That's kind of a lot for him.
No.
Why are you so confident in that?
Honestly, I think it's just a matter of them pouring it on as far as the passing game goes for Tennessee, and I think it directly correlates with Henry's under, and that's all it really is. And if you think it'll be under, and you think he'll go 4 for 100 yards and a touch or something like that, since it is a 4 out of 5, if you want to go against what I'm saying there, that's the one that I think that you could do pretty reasonably, and take the under if that's what you feel is going to happen. I think if you're wrong and you hit the other 4, you're still good.
Exactly. Yeah, you're still golden. So I think it's definitely, that's kind of the nice thing about this particular one on MKF. It's 4 out of 5. You don't have to hit all
having
of
a gimme.
Exactly. Yeah, you get a little cookie there, so you got one of these to play with a little bit. And then obviously we talked about Derrick Henry. You think especially against a solid defense in the Colts, especially run game. I mean, Darius Leonard is healthy again. That dude is an absolute monster. So when he's out there, you can pretty much just mark down 15 tackles and a forced fumble at this point. The dude is just insane. So he's doing his thing. So I do think, if they're going to bottle up Derrick Henry, a lot of it is going to be him. And then, as you said, the script that we're playing with is Tannehill throwing the ball a lot, Derrick Henry really not being able to get it going on the ground. So catching a lot of balls, considering the Colts pass defense, there we go, is not as fantastic. And as you said, you like Corey Davis against Rock Ya-Sin there in the slot, if I'm not mistaken, right? Talk to me. What is it? Why do you think Corey Davis can take advantage of that matchup?
Well, I mean, Rock Ya-Sin is just a below average defensive back, in my opinion. And I think AJ Brown might be one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. He's just a physical beast, and he's growing.
Do you mean Corey Davis?
I mean, yeah. Sorry,
okay, cool.
brain part there.
You're good.
But Davis. Sorry, I got my guys mixed up there. Well, he's in his contract year, and he's had his resurgence.
Yes,
and he's the same way. I mean, that's probably why I got them mixed up. They're both kind of physical specimens that can do a little bit of everything.
They are.
And Davis wants that big contract. He's going to go away if he doesn't do it this year, and he's well on his way. And he also, there was something that I've read about. He was having chronic foot issues for multiple years. And that was something that he actually had off-season surgery to fix. And that might explain a lot of his route running issues over the last couple of years.
That's interesting. I did not know that, and that makes sense. Yeah, Corey Davis, in my eyes, has been a complete bust. Top 10 pick, has pretty much done nothing. But hey, get paid, man. I am all for it. I want every player to get as much money as they can. Corey Davis was Western Michigan, correct?
I don't remember.
I think Corey Davis was Western Michigan. I feel like he was one of the Michigans. Maybe it wasn't one of the two Michigans. It was like Central Michigan or Western Michigan or something like that. And Western Michigan had a crazy comeback win last night. So I think that was fun. It is Western Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully let's play the narrative game. Ride that lightning a little bit, man.
Hey, any narrative that we can go with is good.
Exactly. Last night in the Maction, that was sweet to watch. So good for you, Corey Davis, and the Western Michigan, whatever the hell they are. So shout out them there. So again, monkeyknifefight.com, promo code WinDaily, put in $10, you get 10 free. You then take that 20, turn it into 80, and you also even if you don't turn it into 80, you get a little scared, you don't want to put all $20 on, or you don't want to, no, you have to actually play. So put $10 on this, turn it into 20, or no, then you turn it into 40. There you go. That's still a good day. And then you get 3 months free to WinDailySports.com. That's a $90 value. You get all the DFS that you need. That's it. You spent $10 and you get up to 170. I mean, math, man. I'm not great at it, but I can say that's a great deal. So I think that part is pretty. I steer all of our new subs, our guys that are just in Discord only. I steer them all to the MKF. It's like, honestly, even if you don't play MKF, the 3 months free gold is worth it by itself with nothing else. Exactly. $10, you get 3 months free of WinDailySports.com, and Stoweby gives you articles. What, 3 days a week? 4 days a week?
4 days a week. I try to do 5 days a week, but it's usually 4. I'll have a data dump tonight and in the morning. So it'll be 2. It'll probably be 2 tonight, and then it'll be 1 tomorrow, and then 1 Saturday, and then 2 Sunday.
I cannot wait. And that's what we're here to do. Stoweby is here to help. He is incredible at it, and we appreciate the hell out of you, Stoweby. Let's get it. Thursday night, Throwdown Showdown. Colts Titans. We're going to watch it. Where can everyone find you on the internet?
You can direct all of your Derrick Henry hate mail to @Stoweby on Twitter. Find me, David Stowe, on Facebook. And I'm working on opening up a bunch of other little social media channels, and I'll put all that stuff on my Twitter page and on my Facebook page, so you can find me once it's up. Once it's up, but also 24/7 in that Discord chat, and we appreciate the hell. I've taken a little bit of time off recently with the girls coming in town, but
hey, you got a life. You're a human being. I think that part is understandable. I don't think anyone's gonna gang you for that, but we appreciate everything you do. Again, WinDailySports.com/chat, so you can hang out in the 7-day Discord chat, expert chat. You get everything in there, which is incredible. MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Promo code WinDaily, put in $10, play with it, and then we give you 3 months free to everything on the gold membership. You can find me at Michael Brazil 1. You can follow us at WinDaily Sports for Stoweby, for myself, for the rest of the WinDaily Sports family, for that random guy back there. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we hope you make it a very profitable Thursday night Throwdown Showdown.
Let's do it.